What's going on, hustlers? Back at you guys with another video. Super excited about today's topic because it's got a lot of real world application. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Day Cantave, and today we are going to be talking about the 5 ways that you can invest your first $1,000 of profit in government contracting. So we're going to be discussing how you can reinvest that money into your business, things that are going to optimize your business and give you tangible results. We're going to be talking about things that actively move the needle, right? So in business, 20% of our activities generate 80% of our revenue. 20% of our customers generate 80% of our revenue, right? So the 80-20 rule is very prevalent in business, and we're going to be talking about things that move the needle, that fall into those 20% of actions that are going to generate your 80% of results. But before we start talking about our 5 tips today, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Cannot wait to have you here along with us on the journey. Next goal is 10,000 subscribers. We hit 2K quite comfortably, so I don't want to aim small. I don't want 5,000 subscribers. We want to aim for 10,000 subscribers. It's going to be a long journey. I'm going to have to give you guys a lot of value, but I'm excited for it. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So number 1 is going to be hiring a virtual assistant to look up solicitations and request quotes on your behalf or your company's behalf, okay? Now, there's some controversy on this because a lot of people know that you can't access dibs outside of the continental United States unless you receive explicit permission. The solution to that is you just have your VA access dibs without actually logging in. So you can look through solicitations and look at procurement history and all that good stuff without actually making an account. And a lot of times people are kind of concerned about this because then they're like, oh, well, what am I gonna do? How do I know that they're doing the right thing, saying the right stuff? Email template, go check out my video on that. And then phone call script, go check out my video on that as well. You guys can give that to your virtual assistants and literally just have them read that over the phone, or download the PDF or take a screenshot of it, whatever you want to do, and then send it to your VA and then have your VA copy and paste that and just use that as the template for all their emails. Now, why is this the first thing that I'm recommending? So when it comes to business, as a business owner, there's a couple things that you have to think about when it comes to delegating, right? First of which being, if somebody can do something at least 70% as good as you can do it, then there's no reason for you to be doing it yourself. You need to focus your actions, your time, and your energy on doing things that only you as a business owner can do. So this means that we are now freeing ourselves from rather working in our business to working on our business. So this now allows us more time to do things like business development, develop relationships with our vendors, go through and fill out any paperwork that we need for any certifications, things that are going to be in that 20% category that move the needle. So hiring a virtual assistant, you're going to free up a lot of time in terms of looking for your solicitations and sending out your request for quotes. Granted, you are going to have to pay an upfront cost in terms of time. You are going to have to train this person, but if you get a good one, you get a competent one, usually within a month, VAs can be up to speed if you get a good one and you're doing a good job of training them. And just a little tidbit whenever you're training anybody, the person or the employee or the trainee's performance is a direct reflection of how well you are teaching them. Some people are going to be better suited than others for certain aspects of your business, but at the end of the day, it falls on you. Everything in not just life, but especially in business is going to be your fault. So you got to take accountability for their performance. So if you feel like your VA's not up to par as you employ them and you use this strategy, it's your fault, right? So be patient with them. Government contracting is a very hard game to learn. Once you learn it, though, it's very easy. So just be patient, be compassionate, be empathetic, all that good stuff. Let's get into topic number 2. The second thing that you can do with your $1,000 of profit from your first government contract, or your first couple government contracts, whatever the case may be, or even if you haven't even started but you got 1K to invest in the business. The second thing that you can do is purchase the MillPack software. So MillPack is different from VSM. It's a labeling software. It generates labels and it's different from VSM. VSM is the vendor shipment module, which is the free version that everybody gets access to once they win their first contract. DLA then uploads you into the system. It's coming. There we go. To my editor, when he watches back on this, don't edit my yawns out anymore. People are starting to say that they like them and it's becoming my trademark. But yeah, MillPack is the labeling software that is basically an upgrade from VSM. And the reason why I like MillPack is it allows us to customize the size of our labels. So if we're doing 2x4 inch labels, or we need labels that are they're like half of whatever 8.5 by 11 is. So that would be like a half sheet of paper. We've had to do those. Sometimes you have, instead of the 2x4s, you have the 1x2s. So the great thing about MillPack is that you actually get to print all your labels on 8.5 by 11 paper, and then you get to go to onlinelabels.com. That's where we buy all our labels from, so that's a little nugget for you guys. And then you can purchase the paper size of the labels that you're looking for. So if you're looking for 1x2 or 2x4, it is going to be like an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and then it's going to be 10 labels worth of that size on that 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So you're going to get to make way better labels. And then when it comes time for IDCs or IDIQs, the great thing about MillPack is it stores your previous data. So you can just keep the same contract number and then just add an order number to it, and then it'll auto-populate from what you've already done, which I really, really like. And then once you sell the same thing again, you also have the ability to make a new label. You just swap the contract number with MillPack. So it's very user intuitive, it's very friendly, and I believe it's like $400. It's a one-time payment, and you'll save so much time instead of fumbling around with VSM or having to print multiple labels within VSM to get the kind of labels that you're looking for. Okay, the third way that you can spend or invest, because this is an investment because you're getting ROI, return on investment. You're helping your business grow. The third way that you can allocate your $1,000 profit in government contracting is a dedicated package and storage area. What do I mean by that? It could be something as small as buying a shelf, buying folding tables, buying a comfortable chair, whatever the case may be, but you want to have a dedicated area for packaging and shipping. This is especially going to help when DCMA decides they want to conduct an audit or they want to pay you a visit just randomly. We want to make sure that we have a dedicated storage area, and it also just helps two reasons, psychologically speaking. The first of which, if you're able to go into another room, or even if it's in the same room, but you're able to go sit facing another wall, it helps you differentiate between what you were just doing in terms of the bidding on the contract, the emails and all that stuff, versus the next portion, like the packaging and inspecting and all that good stuff. So it helps you differentiate, and then it helps you feel that the progress that you're making is a lot more tangible. So that's the first one. And then the second reason is sometimes you just need a break and you need to separate your workspaces from each other. It's really not good to work in your bed on your laptop. Your bed is where you sleep, your laptop's where you print dollars, right? So we want to separate those two things. So sometimes if you just need a break from emailing or the mundane of requesting RFQs and you just want to go sit at another desk and you just want to hammer out some packaging, also really, really nice. So number 4, also following on packaging, following the same token, is purchasing mil-spec packaging. Now let me explain, because it's not what it sounds like. Purchasing mil-spec packaging sounds like you're paying another company to do it for you, which is not what I'm saying. If you are familiar, you guys know that military preference or military detail. My most common experience has been military detail 117, and then there's military preference 121, I believe that's what it is off the top of my head. These are very, very common kinds of packaging. So we're talking about the actual like little baggies or pieces of paper, wrapping, whatever the case may be, whatever the solicitation calls for. These are the actual kinds of packaging that are being requested by the government. So if you buy them in bulk and you buy it all at once, and you just get like a whole, crate's worth of this stuff, and then you also buy a heat sealer, you can cut them up maybe you cut them into, you like butterfly them like a butterfly fillet, like you're filleting a fish, cut them up and then attach new ones, like heat sealing and attaching new ones. Or if you want to cut whatever general size you bought and then make it into a smaller package, you can do that. But if you just buy a bunch of it all in bulk and then you have a heat sealer, you can basically get to play like God, if you will, when it comes to your packaging and just create them in different sizes. You buy everything you need all at once. Also, when you talk about finding your niche, you also have the ability to separate the stuff that you're bidding on by the packaging requirements. So if it's military detail 117, then you know, okay, I will exclusively be bidding on stuff that's military detail 117. So the more specific, the better, and you'll save cost by just buying it all up front. You get some scissors and a heat sealer. You can make them whatever size you'd like. That's what we do. And number 5, the 5th best way to invest your first $1,000 of profit in government contracting is you want to invest in file storage. So there's 2 main components of this. At the bare minimum, you want to have a file cabinet because DLA requires you to at least physically be keeping copies or physical copies of the documents. And then the second is an external hard drive, which, if I'm not mistaken, I actually have one here. So this is a 2 terabyte Samsung external hard drive right here. This is what I use for all of my content and all of my editing. And then I have another 500 gigabyte external hard drive here as well, just to show you guys that I use them. And an external hard drive is going to be really, really good because in the event that something happens and it goes on a cloud and then the file gets corrupted or something, you have a fail safe. You always want to have redundancy. That's one thing that I've learned from aviation as well as government contracting is you want to have redundancy. You want to have fail safes in place. Shit goes wrong, shit hits the fan, and 90% of the time nothing goes wrong and you don't need it, but the 10% of the time that it does go wrong, you're going to be so happy that you have it. My dad always says, he's like, listen, it's significantly better to have something and not need it than to need something and not have it. So file storage in the form of an external hard drive or a file cabinet if you don't already have one, that is going to be my 5th and final way to invest your first $1,000 of profit in government contracting. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate the support on the channel. If you found the video informative, if it answered any question that you have or you got any value out of it, please make sure to leave a like or a comment and subscribe if you're new here. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes. You guys have been doing so well for us on the channel. Super, super grateful. Until next time, hustlers, not only am I looking forward to your success, I am absolutely sure of it. Let's go print those dollars.